All right, welcome to abs class. Well, we're gonna make it happen today. Hopefully, we'll get a nice little burn around the core. We're splitting today's workout from the front side and back side, so we're gonna do just as much on the front as we are on the back. The way we're gonna do this is a nice little 30 on, 30 off kind of series here. Okay, so we have 4 different ab movements to focus on. We're going to take a quick general introduction to those right now. So let's go ahead and drop to the ground. Take a nice little seat. So we're going to do movement number 1 is going to be a V crunch. Okay. So we're going to do from the seated position. We're going to extend those arms back behind us, and we're going to get into this nice kind of floating position here. And we're just going to bring those knees to our chest. All right, extend and bring it in. If you are so talented to where you do not need support from your hands, don't use them. I'm going to say with them, okay? So this is our V crunch movement number 1, all right? Feel good? A couple reps to start with, not too bad. All right, movement number 2 is going to be a hollow body hold. So we're going to lay all the way down here. Those arms and legs are going to be extended. We're going to push that low back into the ground. Simultaneously lift those shoulders and those heels up off the ground. So we're going to get a nice big bowl shape. All right, so low back's pressed into the ground. We're just holding there. Movement number 2 is our hollow body hold. Sound good? That one's probably the most difficult to talk through, so don't expect too much from me there. All right, movement number 3 is going to be a bicycle crunch, one that we've all seen before. Back down to our back. Hands are going to be behind our head. Elbows are flared out nice and wide. One knee is going to be kind of piked up. We're going to reach our opposing elbow to the outside of that knee. All right, as we bring back down, we're going to switch those feet. Bring that other elbow to the outside of the knee. We're just going to go back and forth on those bicycle crunches. All right, so notice I'm not just doing this. All right, that's a whole lot of hip flexor work, not a whole lot of abdominal work. So we're going to make sure that we are getting up and across, fully reaching the outside of that elbow, or the outside of that knee, with the outside of that elbow, get that full engagement, all right? And movement number 4 is going to be our weaving T-plank. All right, or we're rotating T-plank. High plank position, we're going to rotate onto one arm, or reach that up into a nice tall T, bring that back down, and rotate the other way. All right. That top position, I do want you to maintain for a half a second just to eliminate, any shifting of momentum. So we're solid in that position. Back down solid. Back up solid. Okay. Those are 4. And our backside movement, our ever so beloved glute bridge. So we're going to be on our back. Those feet are going to be flat on the ground. We're going to push through those feet, drive those hips up, squeeze those glutes. Okay. Remember those glutes, that low back part of our pillar. So it's going to be very important that we get a lot of work on those as well. So how it's going to work is that we're going to do 30 seconds of one of the ab movements that we just talked about, just worked on, and we're going to do 30 seconds of glute bridges. Okay. So we're going to do V crunches 30 seconds, glute bridge 30 seconds, hollow body hold 30 seconds, glute bridge 30 seconds, bicycle crunch 30 seconds, glute bridge 30 seconds, weaving T-plank 30 seconds, glute bridge 30 seconds. All right, so it's going to be continuous work all the way through for about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll see where we get to. All right, sound good? If you're totally lost, just follow along with me. Do your best. We're here for a fun time, here for some workout time, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to start off with those V crunches. So remember, for that seated position, we're going to reach those hands back. We're going to send those legs out, and we are going to go 30 seconds, whatever pace is comfortable for you. So we're going to have to be very on top of those transitions, moving from these V crunches into those glute bridges and back to the next movement. Got about another 10 seconds here. We are going to switch into those glute bridges here in the last 3, 2, 1, and drop it down. Glute bridge. up and hold. So we are just holding this position here. Good chance to stretch out those abs, stretch out those hip flexors, all those things that might get tight, a little wound up during our ab segments. So we're 30 seconds here, and we're going to shift into those hollow body holds at the end of this. All right, so while your abs get a break, we're going to work that backside. While that backside gets a break, we're going to work those abs. All right, we're going to hold here for 3, 2, 1, and bring that down. Extend those arms and legs up into that hollow body hold. So very important that we push that low back into the ground. If we need to, you can bend one leg. You can bend 2 legs. Whatever it takes to push that low back into the ground. As long as those shoulders stay up, we're still getting that core nice and engaged. Final handful of seconds here. Go into glute bridge in 3, 2, 1, and into that glute bridge. Kind of getting the idea of the tempo here. And we are staying strong, looking good as we go through. Make sure this glute bridge, although it is our rest exercise between our abs, we are still working, okay? We've got 15 minutes of work today. We're going to spread that across the front and back nice and evenly. Like I said, we're going to go into those bicycle crunches in 3, 2, 1. Drop that down. Let's go into those bicycle crunches. And 30 seconds at a pace that you are comfortable with, one that you can maintain across this 30 seconds. Make sure that we are not overreaching with those elbows. If they start getting in and roll tight together, there's a good chance that we're losing that rotation. So make sure those elbows stay out nice and wide. Going to glute bridge in 3, 2, 1. Bring that glute bridge nice and high. Somehow shifted very to the top of my mat. All right. We're holding up here. We're going to move into those weaving T-planks. Still getting engaged, right? Still keeping those knees being pushed forward. Glutes are nice and tight. Low back nice and strong. Great, great, great movement right here. Not really moving, I guess. All right, let's flip it over into our high plank position. And let's go for those weaving T-planks, alternating those sides. Again, establishing that position at the top in that plank position and then to the top of the other side. This one, I don't want you to focus on moving quickly. I want you to be focused on moving with intention. All right, we're going to go one more to the other side. Last 2, 1, and we'll bring that back down to our glute bridge. So that is 1 round down. How are we feeling? Feeling strong? I hope so. We're going to go for another round here. 10 more seconds here. We're going to go back into those V crunches. All right. Make sure that we're rolling those midsections so we crunch those abs. Last 2, 1. Let's go for it. Into those V crunches. The lower we can extend ourselves, the more we're engaging those abs, pulling in. Like I said, still going to keep those hands down for support. But if you can do it without it, do it without it. It's like very difficult to get up out of, but a great way to maintain some body control. Last 2, 1, and let's drop into our glute bridge. So hopefully these glute bridges are not getting easier as time goes on, but rather they're getting more and more difficult because we are putting so much effort, so much intention into each round of them. Squeeze those glutes again, push those knees forward, not always driving those hips as high as possible, but making sure that we're engaging what we need to engage. All right, last 2, 1, drop it down. Hollow body holds. Again, any modifications that we need here. I'm going to again pull that knee in. We're going to hold strong, making sure that low back is in contact. You can always slide that hand up underneath. If you can easily get up underneath it, it's a good chance we're not where we need to be. So we're going to engage those abs. Really stick that lower back down. We're going into glute bridges, 5 seconds. Last 2, 1. and up for those bridges. All right. And squeeze those glutes. Quick little pro tip. You work on driving those knees away from each other and get a little extra glute squeeze there. Working that gluteus medius, that outer hip flexor, that is often underdeveloped from long periods of sitting. We're going to go last 2, 1, and bicycle crunches. Second time around. All right, moving back and forth. Let's do it, let's do it. 10 more seconds here. Feel that burn. Come on. And all the way across. Feel those obliques. Last 2, 1, and glute bridges. I'm always walking backwards on those ones. All right. Take a breath again. Chance to stretch out those abs. Squeeze those glutes nice and tight. I'm telling you, these are burning all kinds of different ways right now. We are almost there. We've just got a couple movements left. We're going to be moving into those weaving T-planks here. And about 3, 2, 1. Let's flip it over. High plank position. Moving up into that T. And back down. Up into that T. And back down. All right. We're going to go last couple seconds here. Make sure we are effortful and intentful on these movements. Last 2, 1, and drop that down. Glute bridge. Almost there, folks. So we're going to have enough time for one more round after this hold. So I want you to do between your V crunches, your hollow body holds, your bicycles, and your T-plank, pick your least favorite one of those, because that is what we're going to do next. For me, that's going to be that hollow body hold. And don't joke to be like, oh yeah, V-sits are my least favorite. Do what your actual least favorite is. All right, last 2, 1, and let's do it. We're going to really challenge ourselves to grow as competitors here, to grow this 2021, right? We're going to really face that challenge this year. Find that threshold of what we're willing to tolerate and try to hold at it, break through it even. We got 10 seconds. Breathe it. Come on. Last 5. Last 3, 2, 1, and glute bridge. The last round of these glute bridges, 30 seconds. Again, put as much effort into these as you can. Really drive those knees forward. Squeeze those glutes. Come on. We're going to make this happen. Last little bit of core work for today. We got final 10 seconds. Last 2, 1, and relax. All right. We're going to flip things over. Lying on your belly. We're in a nice little up dog or cobra, wherever you are. Stretch out those abs a little bit. We're going to rotate to the left and right. Nice and easy. Stretch out those abs. Awesome, awesome work today, folks. We're going to go ahead and sit that back into a nice little child's pose. Stretch out those glutes, that low back a little bit. Those glute bridges were real fun. Pay some respect to our bodies here. And we'll bring that up. And we are going to call that a day. So thanks again for joining us today for some abs class. Hopefully you have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll be back for stretch break at 1:50. Remember, we moved that up a little bit. Otherwise, have a great lunch, and we will see you in our next class.